Hi, I'm Rachael McCampbell. Thank you for joining me at my studio and Painting with Friends. Today I have an amazing guest, Naomi Judd, and we are going to talk and chat and also play with alcohol inks. So this will be really fun. I hope you'll get some supplies yourself and join us. This is Naomi's first painting, so come tune in and watch Naomi paint. And we'll also have an alcohol inks part 2 coming up, so stay tuned for that. And then she's going to paint with me using acrylics. Subscribe to my channel so that you will know about future shows, and also tune in to my more in-depth art instructional videos as well. So have fun with art, and I'll see you soon. So hi and welcome to Painting with Friends. I'm Rachael McCampbell and I'm so excited today. What is it?
I have no earthly idea what the hell I'm doing. I just have to say from the start, I've done a lot of, I'm weird, I do a lot of weird things, wacky things that other people wouldn't even try. I've never painted. And you're one of my closest friends, and I have paintings in my house of yours. Everybody has your paintings. You're fabulous. And I don't know, like am I supposed to touch stuff? I'm going to paint.
Are you scared?
Well, actually nothing scares me. I raised Winona and Ashley Judd, so nothing.
All right then, okay.
I'm just unaccustomed.
I know, and I'm going to hold your hand through this whole thing.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
You've held my hand through many things.
Yeah, I have.
We've been together a long time.
Yeah.
You're like my sister.
Aww,
I love you to pieces, and I want everybody to start watching Rachael because she is the best. And you know me, I'll tell you if you need a breath mint. She is the best painter, and I come over to her house, and one day it's just some pastels on a canvas, and I come back the next day, and it's this garden, this English garden of stuff. You can do horses, you can do anything.
Not anything, but thank you for that vote of confidence.
Well, you can, I've seen it.
Well, anyway, thank you for that. And Naomi Judd, everybody, by the way, I was about to introduce you, and you just launched right in, which is Naomi style. So we are so thrilled to have you. Well, I'm so glad you're here because you're one of the most creative people I've ever met on this planet. So the fact that you have not painted is kind of a travesty. It is.
Well, yesterday I went into the factory, that big place here where we live. They have shops lined up. It's like a, what do you call that? An arcade?
Yeah, kind of like that.
And then I used to take Elijah and Grace, Winona's kids, my grandkids, and we used to paint do cups and plates and everything.
Oh, yeah.
We would all paint. So that's been my experience.
Well, we have a lot of things to play with today, and you're just gonna love it.
Okay, I'll do anything.
Okay.
The trouble with trouble is it starts out as fun.
Okay, so it is a time of a pandemic, and so we have already taken our temperatures. I don't think we need to do it again, do we?
No.
It was just 5 minutes ago. Oh my gosh, Naomi, we have so much fun stuff to play with. And
I'm scared.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. And you love color. I know that about you.
Yep, I live in Technicolor.
That's right. And you know, it's funny, when I was choosing colors, I knew which one she wanted. I mean, this is similar to your sofa in your kitchen.
Yep.
But,
yep.
So what we're doing today.
Do you know anybody else that has a turquoise sofa in their kitchen?
No.
It's me.
Yeah, it would be you. And she has very beautiful, bright tones in her house, especially that kitchen. It's very happy. And I also
your house, I wish we had a 360 camera.
Oh no.
So I could get this room, which is filled with half-finished paintings, some finished paintings.
Oh.
This place is amazing.
Yeah.
Don't lose anything.
I don't know where anything is.
You'll never find it.
Well, anyway, let's not go there. But anyway, so we have alcohol inks today. And I know, I have warning. I have a trigger alert for you. We're going to be using rubbing alcohol. So
that alcohol.
You were a nurse for years, and I don't want you to have like a trauma trigger by smelling that alcohol. I wanted to give you a warning.
Okay. Call stat, code blue, floor 5, hurry.
How am I going to get through this? How?
That's what one of us says all the time.
Bless her heart. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and explain what we've got going on, if that's okay. And now, I already knew your favorite flower was a peony or
peony.
Peony.
If you're real country, it's a peony.
Peony. And we will have these images on the website for you to download if you are inspired by some of these to paint. But we just are using them as a little guide. And so first I thought I would explain what alcohol inks are so you can understand. They are a pigment, a dye, that is basically suspended in alcohol. So what's cool about them is when you put them on a non-porous surface, you can use glass, you can use like white ceramics, you can use white plastic paper, which is what we've got here too. Put that down. And we're using Dura-Bright paper by Graphics today. It's basically a plastic paper. You can't even tear it. You have to cut it with scissors. So, but because it's plastic coated, it works really great with these inks because they suspend and float around, then they dry in like 7 seconds. So it's a real fast process, but once they dry, you add more alcohol and it reignites them and they start moving again. So it's really fun. And these are all made by a company called Ranger, and they have amazing colors, and they've got these little stamping tools we're going to use. This is the alcohol blending solution we're going to be using, and it's a little different than just straight up isopropyl alcohol, which we'll be using. And when you're getting alcohol, I know it's hard to get right now, but if you can get it 91% or higher. Another cool thing about the inks, even though they dry in 7 seconds, like you can pour them in a little container and use a brush with them just by dipping the brush in the alcohol. And then we have a little puffer tool to push the paint around. You have one over there. You've got some brushes by Ranger. So you can use this to push the paints around. You can use this type of thing, a dust blower, but it really is very strong, but you can kind of use those if you want to. Or I just use like an airbrush without the paint in it, and it's a nice soft way to push the paint around. You can also use a blow dryer. We have one. I don't have the perfect kind for this, but if we need things to dry fast, we will use our handy dandy blow dryer. What else, Naomi? We've got these cake spinners that are used for decorating cakes or Lazy Susans or something, and that just makes it, when you put your art around, you can.
We call that a Lazy Susan at our house. You put the salt and pepper on it, and the salad dressing or whatever, and then you just give it a spin.
So you don't have to pass it. Especially that huge round table of yours. They have a Lazy Susan that's 4 feet wide. I'm kidding. Anyway, and then this little chart is something you can print off of the Ranger site. When you buy the inks, you can just drop them on here so you can remember what the colors look like. One of the things that's very fun about this process, Naomi, is because normally I'm painting by myself in my studio and all alone, and by doing these YouTube videos I get to interact with other artists from all over the world. It's really fun. So they'll email me and talk to me, and one of the ways I want to promote that is that these fabulous sponsors I have give me products, and then I'm able to have a raffle and then ship them to the winner each time. Leslie Satcher and I did one. I'm still getting the questions together, and then I'll be sending that raffle out. And then we'll ask a question at the end of our video, and then people will answer it, in the comments section of the video, and then they too will get a raffle item. So we have a very cool raffle item that we are offering for the alcohol inks, and that is, they gave me the Tim Holtz starter kit, and I'll have this on the website, but it has all these inks. It has basically 6 inks, a mixative, the stamper tool, the felt pads, some paper, and the blending solution. So
they get all that?
They get all that,
Oh.
and they get the paper that we're using, which is this. This is the Dura-Bright, a pad of the Dura-Bright, the plastic paper I was just talking about. They'll get a pad of that, and so all they have to do is subscribe to McCampbell Art Studio on YouTube.
I'm Vanna White now.
Yeah. It'll be at the end when we have our video put out. Just go on there, subscribe, it's free, and then you will comment. And our question is, what is your favorite song? They answer it in the comment section, and that enters them into the raffle if they answer that question.
Okay. So you can say Brick House if you want, or you can say, I told, no, actually I wanted that when they at my funeral when they carry me out.
She's a brick house.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a nice touch. But you can, or you can say a Judd song. It's up to you.
Yeah, I know. I think everybody's going to choose a Judd song probably, or "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor. That's kind of appropriate these days. So whatever song you want to do is appropriate.
I heard a song yesterday on, of course, I listen to country radio. I'm trying to remember if it's Joe Diffie. I think it's Joe, bless his heart, he died from COVID. Prop me up against the jukebox when I die.
Oh yeah.
It's a very emotional song. You're gonna love it, check it out.
Oh my word. All right. So first thing we're going to do is play with the products so you can get a feel for it. And then we're going to jump into actually trying to make something pretty.
Let's jump into making it.
Okay, you want to jump right in?
I ain't scared.
Okay. And this is an example of like a peony. It's kind of a removal process, which is fun. So here, let's see what you have on there. This is also craft paper. I don't know if you can see this. This is a plasticky craft paper that Ranger sent me as well, and it's great because it cleans up with alcohol. So you can get it really messy and then it cleans right up. Now either side of these will work. That's another nice thing about this paper. There's not a one side, it's both. And like where I got some schmutz on it, you can always just take your little mister if you want to. Oh, and I want to say this before I forget. Alcohol blending solution has a type of resiny thing in it that is not healthy to put into a spritz bottle, so don't ever do that. This has rubbing alcohol in it, so it's okay to do a little spritz. I still, you don't want to get down there and breathe it. But see how it just wipes right off?
How many blouses have you ruined with paint?
I have a whole closet full of ruined clothes, and it's gotten to the point where I don't even bother. I don't change clothes. I just go out like this, and security guards follow me through stores. I mean, today I'm clean. I just have a few spots, but you know how I'm normally dressed. Covered.
You're fashion forward.
Yeah. I did see them selling a bunch of those paint-covered clothes in Macy's last year, and I thought, I should sell what's in my closet. So this is the clean rubbing alcohol, and this is a little pipette that will pick it up and pour it onto your thing. Let's get a little more in there. So I'll start by showing you some of this. So what I like to do is put some alcohol on here, just kind of get a bunch, and then I'm going to choose any of these colors. Let's see, what do we got here? Is that Fiesta? Yeah, sorry about that guy, he just keeps going off. I'm going to do several drops, and maybe even some of this wild plum. I'll throw in a little bit of that. And then I'm going to swirl it around, and it starts looking like a flower already, doesn't it? It's just fun. And then as the alcohol starts to dry, you can take, like I said, either an airbrush. You can just turn it on your Lazy Susan if you want. Start making, just moving it around basically and playing and seeing what it does. See how it's starting to dry there?
Huh.
And you know, the closer you press on it, does different things. Or if you're not using that, you can use this guy. Or you can use a straw if you don't have this equipment. Because of COVID, I'm not going to be using a straw, because that wouldn't be good. But you can push it different directions. You can use a blow dryer, or like I said, you could use a duster thing. Let's try this one too. It has a tendency, if you press too hard, to just blow it right off the page. You have to be careful. So if you want a real strong effect, see how it's just kind of blowing it right off?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's starting to dry and set up, as you see. And so you may think, oh no, well, that doesn't look like anything. Don't worry. So like, let's say I go in with this pipette, fill it with a little, and then I'm gonna go over here and just make some shapes there. Oops, can turn it the right way. So it's kind of a build-up of moving colors around. And just the fact of moving them around starts to create things that look a little bit like petals. And I have no idea in mind about what I'm making, but I don't know, do you see anything floral?
Let me try it.
It's like a Rorschach test.
It's beautiful. It's abstract.
Yeah, it's abstract. Absolutely. So that gives you an idea of what that does. The blending solution that I'll put out for us to share too. Here, this one's already open. It does a little different thing. In the alcohol, both of these lift. As you can see, it'll lift, and the white paper will show through. But you can pick up a brush if you want to, and you can shape things.
You're better than Bob.
Bob Ross? Nobody's better than Bob Ross. That's just shameful.
Rest in peace.
I know. Anyway, that's kind of what a brush does, and I'm not wild what a brush does, so I'm going to put that in there. But you can, just to show you, like let's say you don't like what you did, you can literally come back in here and wipe this off. It's supposed to take it all the way back to the white, but it usually stains it somewhat. But if you put a lot of alcohol on there and keep wiping, it'll go back to white.
Wow.
So if you want to wipe something off, you could wipe this whole thing off at the end. So, and you can press things in to get patterns, or let me just show you what, like that mister that I did. If you go, make sure not aim it at yourself. You know, it does that speckly thing. So those are some of the things it can do. Now back to the idea of making, like, let's say this flower here, this peony. I'm gonna put some, how about some watermelon, or, yeah, this one's watermelon. And I'm gonna look at this one here a second, and just kind of lay down some colors like that, just directly on there. Or, like I said, you can pour the color into here.
Why would you pour it into there?
Well, you might want more, or you could pour it into your palette over there. If you want to use a brush, it gives you a little more, wipe the brush a little bit, and it can give you a little more control.
So when I was growing up, my next door neighbor was Mary Agnes Hinton, the sweetest woman that ever walked the planet. And I was over to her house a lot because she had 3 girls. And she had 2 peony bushes on either side of her front porch.
Mm-hmm.
Front porch, everybody had front porches.
Right.
And after sundown, everybody was out on their front porches. And those peonies meant so much to me because it symbolized the way that I loved her and she loved me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the aroma of peonies.
Oh, I do too. Let me show you something here. Like once this dries a little bit and you drop a little alcohol ink on there, like if you take your little, well, it's calling me a liar, isn't it? Here, let me try it with, well, no, it's not that. Let me try this. It kind of just ate through that ink real quick. Hold on a minute. Let me try that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. You can, you know, bring it back to life and create things that look like petals by pushing that around. Isn't that interesting? It just starts doing the craziest thing.
How do you know to do this?
Just being an artist, you know a lot of things, and there are a lot of YouTube videos about alcohol inks. This is nothing new. And everybody has a different style and how they do it. So this is just, I kind of use it in the way that I would paint in a way. So you can keep doing that. So I thought you might want to go ahead and play and start creating something like that on your paper. And oh, let me show you one last thing. Let's say you don't like these harsh edges here. You know, you can put alcohol on the edges and then push back in or around. See how it'll soften it up? Just kind of, or, you know, it just turns into all kinds of things. Or if you just put them right there and then go dead center, it'll do something. Almost looks like a pansy, you know. Kind of looks like a flower. And as you keep adding different colors, like when we were talking about different colors, let me just show you this real quick. It's good to give them a little shake, although they've been shaken before. I think this is citrus. That is citrus, right? Okay. That's the one that has that cool aura. See how it starts?
Mm-hmm.
And so alcohol will remove alcohol. So the alcohol, whatever color you put down, it's going to want to get rid of the color beneath it. It's kind of eating through it. And you can add a touch more of alcohol there and push that color around. Or push it back into itself, mix it with the pink. Just play with it.
This is way more fun than a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, enough of me doing it, but I'm telling you, it's like magic. It's just so fun, and that just kind of turned into its own little flower without me trying. Kind of looks like a rosebud of some sort. All right, let's try you doing it. And this thing always wants to fall out, so don't worry about it. We can just set it on the counter if we want to. It'll be easier. All right, so all you have to do is use your pipette and put some alcohol out there. And I'll pull out some of the colors I think you wanted. Fiesta. And anyway, here's some of the reds. Wild plum, boysenberry, that's an orange, and that's a watermelon.
Pipette reminds me of my chemistry class when I blew up the third floor.
Okay.
No one was harmed,
Oh, good.
but 3 fire trucks showed up. It's very exciting.
Everything you do has drama connected to it, doesn't it?
I've noticed. Make it stop. Make it stop.
Makes life interesting. You've entertained Larry for all these years.
41.
God.
Poor guy.
He has patience.
He's a funny guy too, but nobody knows it but me.
He has a great dry wit.
Yeah, he does.
All right. What color do you want to try? Fiesta is the one you said.
I want that one.
I think that was Fiesta or Flamingo. It was Fiesta, this one. Okay, so probably like 5 drops, something like that. Wait, I just want to remark, you are now painting.
Ah, take a picture.
I know. This is a momentous day. Give it some shakes. You want to add any more to it, like boysenberry? It's good to add some different colors to get different effects.
Yeah, if I can have that color, Keisha.
I think it was this one, wild plum.
And how can I use this to stir it around?
Well, first we're going to just do this.
I can clean this, use this to clean my ears?
You could.
Oh, okay.
And then you don't have to do anything yet. At this point, we just want to add a bunch of color real quick before the alcohol dries.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we will get to the Q-tip part. I'm going to show you that. Yeah, cool. Awesome. And then we can add greens and other things later. All right. So excited. Okay, so stir it around with your, by turning it.
Just by turning?
Yeah, flip, yeah, like that. There you go. Just keep turning it. Yeah, like, there you go. That's it.
Woo!
I know, isn't that fun?
Woo!
I mean, that's pretty just by itself. It's an abstract.
So who's your favorite painter?
Oh, golly, that's a hard one. I have so many. I'm really partial to the Impressionists. I mean, who doesn't love Van Gogh? I love Cezanne. I love the peaches and, you know, all that stuff he's painted. So beautiful. Monet. But who's yours?
Michelangelo.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to try this guy? And then just pull back on this with your finger. And you can get different. Yeah, so hold it with the same hand. You're gonna hold it like this with one hand and operate like that, because you need the other hand to turn it.
Like I know what I'm doing?
Yeah. Takes a minute, I'm telling you. Okay, so we're gonna, you gotta turn it. There we go. Start moving that ink around. That's it. Get down here where it's wet, because this is already dried.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can go like this. And just add more alcohol and
add more alcohol?
Yeah, I mean that's what I did just then, just to kind of re-wet that area. Okay, so let's see. Let's try to add more alcohol, and this time, just let me show you something. Just kind of move it and do it on the side as opposed to straight down.
Oh.
Yeah. And you'll get more things moving that way, like that. And that way you can start creating different shapes. Okay. Oh, stuff's happening already. Yeah, the airbrush. This is a really nice little airbrush by Master. It's I'll put the exact info on it. I want to say it's about a $60 airbrush.
For this thing?
Yeah, and it's just a great little system. I'm going to add a little blending solution there. Almost looks like a butterfly wing. Okay, now start doing some of that around.
Do what around?
Where I poured that blending solution.
Oh.
Yeah, more air. Great.
My makeup girl in LA has one of these that she uses. She puts liquid foundation in it.
And sprays it all over.
Yep.
Yeah, you get it perfectly even. Yeah, that's what these are used for. Nails, art, makeup. Oh my gosh. Look how that looks like a flower. The whole thing. Wow. So when I was a kid in church, to keep us quiet, my mother would do this thing where she would just draw squiggles and then pass the bulletin to you and say, make something out of it. And so I would make, turn it around and, oh, there's a person jumping over a cow or whatever. So I would draw that out and I'd keep me quiet. But this reminds me of that. It is like that in the sense that you make these shapes and then you reassess and you figure out what you have here and how to go for it. And again, I want you to try, taking the airbrush and kind of softening lines if you want to, and then we'll add more colors. What kind of color is doing that? So just play with that.
I want to add the greens around for the,
okay,
like you've got over there.
Yeah, you want that limeade, I remember. Want to try the limeade? And you can either do, like I'm going to show you, let me steal one of your brushes. And this is that citrus color right here. Like if you want to do a stem, see how I just ran the thing down there and it'll create stems and leaves, but real soft because it's the alcohol and it's spreading as soon as you put it down.
Can I use a brush?
Yeah. And you want to add some of the blending solution to it. Do you want it to look like a leaf?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, let's get some alcohol in there. You can just spread it. See how it starts to mix in with... I mean, it's really trippy. This is... You could play with this stuff for hours, I think. And there's some fun things you could do too with it where you... I've never tried this, but I think I saw online somebody added a little bit of powdered stuff, but it would have to be very wet with paint for that to stick. You're doing that, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try adding some wild plum. And
one Easter Sunday morning, my mom worked in the newborn in the nursery all the time. But this time, because it was Easter, she came to church to sit with me and my siblings. And she had a paper plate that had colors on it with string to tie under her neck. And she marched down the center aisle very proudly and sat with us. And that's what my brother Mark had made in Sunday school. All the other women had these gorgeous designer hats.
She had the paper plate. That's so cute. All right, whenever you use pigments, you should not suspend them in air. It's not good to breathe. And so, I don't know. I was thinking you could mix it. You can mix it, but you don't want to blow it with a blower and have that go up in the air. So
what do I do if I want to make this right through here darker?
Well, you could either use a brush and pour a darker color in, but let's say boysenberry or something. Shake it up.
Have you ever had a boysenberry?
No.
Me neither. I think they're tricking us.
They always talk about them, but where are they?
For a long time, I didn't think there was a South Dakota. I thought it was just some American conspiracy thing. But then I went there.
And you knew it existed.
And I'll never go back.
Oh! Now? All you people from South Dakota, we love you.
Yeah. Come in for the what's that called?
The motorcycle thing? Sturgis?
No.
Oh, no. What?
No, it's just that Winona and I had a big fight there. That's why I remember it.
Oh.
She left her... South Dakota is very spread out. She left her outfit at the motel. And we were good hours drive. We were out at this big venue outside. And,
So you had to go all the way back? Or somebody?
We sent somebody back and we held the show a little bit, but...
Oh, God. I bet that was fun. There's always got to be something go wrong with your shows, right? Although I saw you in Las Vegas several years ago, and you all were amazing. That was such a good show, and
Thank you.
nothing went wrong. It was perfection on a stick. It was fabulous.
There was Les Miserables had been there before our residency at the Venetian, and there was a big, about that big, in the floor where it just dropped out, and it was part of the play. Somebody disappears in the Les Miserables.
Right.
So I disappear, and Winona goes over and changes her jacket and everything, and the audience is just going, what the heck? So then when I came back up, I had two Chippendale dancers on either side of me holding me, and I didn't tell Winona, because I'll always love the element of surprise, except you never know how she's going to react. So it's a real...
It's a risk.
It has to do with adrenaline. So when they started bringing me back up on the elevator, I made them stop when they got like to right here. I was going, Winona, help me. I can't get out. Help, help. So she got tickled. She couldn't sing for 5 minutes. The boys were letting me go, and I kissed them goodbye and everything. And the audience just had to talk among themselves till we regained our balance in that moment.
Oh, that's so funny.
And she just kind of looked at me like, Mother, who's the mother, who's the daughter here, like, what are you going to do next?
At least you kept her on her toes. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so let's go back to this for 1 second. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you, what these Q-tips do, because they are fun. And when things start to dry, like at this point, you just dip it in some alcohol. Let's say, see how there's white edges on your photo of your peony. So just looking at that, I'm going to go over here and lift a little bit and do some reverse painting, where instead of adding color, you're lifting. And then you just add a little alcohol, take the other side and smooth that out a little bit, and see?
Lifting. Do
you want to try that? Try that process? Wait, let me fix that one before. You have to kind of work on it immediately. Let's get you a clean one. Here. So dip it in the alcohol a little bit.
And do it where?
Let's give you a paper towel too. Hold on a minute. I'm reaching across. I have a paper towel right here so you can dab things. Like, just looking at this flower, for example, this kind of looks like the center to me. And this looks like these areas over here. You could create them to where they look kind of like that. And you just kind of fake it till you make it. And do that.
I study the brain. I'm very interested in neuroscience. I don't know what part of the brain has to do with painting.
Right. Well, I don't know which part, but they always say it's right side.
Well, you're talking about the thing about like creativity?
Yeah.
Creativity is supposed to be right brain?
They say that, but it's actually on both sides,
That's not
right?
true. That's an old myth.
I know. I read that recently. It's on both sides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both sides. And there's the corpus callosum, which comes down the middle of the brain and separates the two hemispheres. These are called hemispheres. And people, I have a friend who, Dr. Daniel Weinberg, is up at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. He let me dissect a brain, and we had someone whose corpus callosum was really low, and that's why the patient was schizophrenic, because the signals from the right brain and the left brain get crossed over. But it's just so fascinating, the brain.
But I mean, creativity in general, from songwriting to painting, where is that? Is that both sides?
We know that you're born with certain things like your disposition. You can be born up to from 30% up to 60% of your disposition, meaning, well, you know what your disposition is, your temperament and all that, but we're not sure. It takes a whole lot of different processes. There's a guy named Andrew Nuremberg up in Pennsylvania who right now is trying to find the spiritual. I always think of art as being so spiritual. It's a spiritual outlet. He believes that the temporal lobe, which is right here next to your temples, is the seat of spirituality. So he did this cool study where he found that with EEGs all over someone's head, recording all of the activity, that the temporal lobe lights up when someone's having, like a Sufi's in a dance mode, Buddhist is in a meditation, you're painting, I'm singing. The temporal lobe just lights up because that's the seat of emotionality. The parietal lobe, which is right back here seated on either side, shuts down. So we don't have this sense that we're one. That's what people say. They feel like they're all one with the universe, kind of thing. Oh, it's so fascinating.
It really is. I know, and they just keep learning more and more and more.
So, being the student, my question is, well, Dr. Newberg, if you can measure this, if you can quantify it, can't you create it? Can't we make a cap that fits on that makes you feel this way?
Right.
So they're working on it.
Or trigger it. Yeah, trigger ourselves to create that.
And colors have a profound effect on the brain.
They do.
Yep.
So let's go back to yours for a second. That's beautiful, just in and of itself. Do you want to do any more on it?
Yes.
A little more, and then we'll do, we'll work on the glass too to see what that process does. And I wanted to show you what happens when you add a little powder or luminosity to it. That's kind of pretty.
Oh.
So you can do...
It's a trick.
Yeah, and there's also opaque colors, and I wanted to show you there's some metallics that we can add and some pearlescence if you want to see what that looks like real quick. So these are mixatives. Let me find one. This one's gold. This is pretty.
Mixatives.
Yeah, it's a mixative. It has, you know, like a little bit of a metallic in it, so it's a little more opaque. But let's add a little blending solution to it. And then you want to push that around a little bit. There you go. Yeah, just push it around a little more so it has a tendency to puddle together. There you go. And it'll create these little ridges with, oops, it's kind of cool. So when it dries, you start to see the gold will start to emerge there.
Okay, what do I do if I want to get rid of that?
Well, we go like, you could either use a Q-tip, blend it around, or you can go like this. Let's see, where's that little pipe at?
That's good.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
And you can use your paper towel, or you can use alcohol and, like, you know, push back the color. You can push it around. And you might like this thing. It gives you a little more control than that thing.
I like control.
Yeah.
I don't have very much control over things, but I like control. It's a good word.
It is a good word.
I'm working toward it.
So, what do you think?
I like
mean,
it.
we could work on these for days, but because they, whoops, just sprayed my arm. I like putting those spritz on there and like having that little, it kind of breaks up the shapes.
You're the best. You know all this stuff.
Oh, I know a couple of things. That's about it. I'm always playing. I really believe in experimentation.
Haha.
What were you going to say?
One of my favorite words. Do you remember how we met?
I was trying to remember that the other day. Was it at the Halloween party?
Yes.
Halloween?
What I remember is Roy Snow, our Oklahoma cowboy with the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots,
Yeah.
said, I'm bringing a guest to your Halloween party, which is legendary. Everybody wants to come to the Halloween party. It's adults acting like 10-year-olds. We howl at the moon, we dance till the wee hours of the morning, we laugh till we're sore.
Yeah.
But he said that he was bringing somebody, and then right behind him is you, and you looked like you were a deer and a person, like you got run over by a deer.
Yeah. Should I explain it?
Yes.
Because it was a very weird idea, but you know, artists get away with these things, right? So I decided, since I live out in the country in Tennessee and had lived in LA and came here, I thought, well, what's a country Santa Claus like? Well, a country Santa Claus would be a hunter, right? He'd be out. So it was, I had a Santa outfit because I had it for when my son was little. So I had the Santa outfit, and I put a hunting jacket on and a hunting hat on, Santa. And then he had been out hunting, and Rudolph happened to be flying by and was really annoyed that somebody was hurting deer. So he just flew down and happened to accidentally ram right through him. So I had Roy's taxidermy deer head, put a red nose on it, and put it on the front of the outfit. And then I created a deer's rear end coming out the back with a bag of toys that had blood all over it. It was very adult. There were no children at this party. I knew that before I did this. And
yeah, we don't allow kids at this party because people say things they wouldn't say in front of children.
Yeah.
That was
so fun.
I thought that was the most original outfit for the night. And then, do you happen to have a picture of when you were part of the painting?
Oh, I came as the Scream. Yeah, and you gave me that calendar that you made, you and me, and it's on a calendar. But yeah, I have that.
You should put that in this piece.
Okay, I'll put it on there so they can see.
It goes to your creativity. I'm serious.
Yeah.
That was I think that was one of my all-time favorite costumes, if not the.
Anyway, she has the best parties. So, Naomi, another thing is, like, when you go in to do details, if you want to later, Ranger makes these different pens you can use, and like you can go in and make sure.
Oh, that changes everything. Wow.
Well, it gives a little more depth, or you can kind of outline, create petals or little round things for the center of the flower or whatever. And they come in different colors. So,
You could get $1 million for this.
$1 million trillion bucks. But like, this is an older thing I started and then didn't finish. You can always just come back in and look how it'll reactivate. And
even if it's dry?
Even totally dry, it'll come back in. And
I don't like that one. I like this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never finished this one, so I mean, that's the part where you can just keep coming back and doing these things and turn your little thing around, and then it'll.
I like it more. Yeah, now I get it.
Or just put another color on and add a touch of. There is a blending tool I have as well, but I haven't found that we need it today.
For me, having never held a paintbrush in my life,
yeah,
this kind of stuff would be the right place for me to start.
Right.
So I just like stick my toe in the water.
Yeah, because you're playing. I mean, this is all about playing with color, and I think you did a great job just in a few minutes. We don't have time to like work on the painting, like to finish it to completion, but unless you want to stay, and then we'll play, and then we'll show it on the video at the end of what we ended up doing. So Naomi, I cannot thank you enough for being here and playing with ink.
You don't have to thank me. You're my friend.
Oh, well, I do thank you. Your
love to
time is
hang out.
precious.
We're all artists. We just don't know it. So I hope what you saw today, you'll come back and check back in with Miss Rachael.
Yeah, everyone can paint. So come back because we're going to play some more with acrylic next time.
And I'll come back too.
Yay! Thank you. I love you.
Love you back. Bye for now.
Bye.
You should see her when she goes to like a buffet. She won't double dip, which I really appreciate. I hate people that double. You know, you just stick the tortilla down in the guac.
Oh.
And take a bite, and then you go back for seconds. She won't do that.
Well, of course not.
In fact, she'll walk away in disgust. I've seen her do it. I've never done anything like this before.
So thank you for joining me, and always have fun with art.